Be like, oh, Ego, he suck. I hate his channel. And then they can't spell nothing. They don't know the difference between there, and there. This is where. Okay. So this is plucked from DAZN's page. You dig? The annual pay up front, I already went over, $4.50. And forgive me that I added 1 cent to it and rounded to the nearest whole number. Limey Wellington in Nottingham. Bro, the fans is outraged. They're not trying to see that. Liam. Oh, yeah, mate, you're slagging, mate. Oh, it's proper. You're silly sausage, mate. Who you think you kidnapped? Oh, my. Bro, he did not just do my line from Rush Hour. He said, $450. Man, who you think you kidnapped? Chelsea Carter? Kelsey Grammer? Bro, he used the line from Rush Hour. The girl don't like you. Nobody likes you. It doesn't sound bad. Until you get to the mother flipping price. The price for this service is you can own this for only $450. Oh. Hey, DAZN done lost they mind, bro. I don't know what. But wait, there's more. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live, Boxing Ego Unpacked. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Ah, yes. The game is in shambles. Controversy. Scandal. Mayhem. DAZN done lost their ever-loving mind. They introduced a new pricing system, a new price tier for boxing that includes pay-per-views. But the boxing fans are not happy. If he in there, he ain't happy. What movie is that from? Oh, you want me to show you a little trick? Help you take your mind off that pain. If he in there, he ain't happy. In this video, I'm gonna break down everything you need to know regarding the new pricing with DAZN. Let's get unpacked. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Now, the streets need me. I said I can't leave boxing alone. The game needs me. So many of you reached out and hit me up, especially after I posted about it on my social media. Listen, I don't like to repeat myself, so listen up. I am not on one platform. I am multi-platform. I have a link tree. The link is in the description of all my videos, making it very easy for you to get to my different social medias. I don't always have time to make a video. Sometimes I'm mobbing, I'm in traffic. So you can check my other social medias to get the news. If you're into boxing, if you're not, I don't even know why you're here, but if you're into boxing, that's what you should be doing, because it's the trifecta. You're going to get it on my other social medias or you're going to get it here. Either way, it helps the channel. Shout out to everybody for the support. The super chats, the cash apps. I see y'all. I'm going to keep working. Now, people hit me up. They're like, Ego, I need you to make a video on this. I already made a post about it, like I just said, but they wanted me to unpack it or just give my thoughts. We got to start from the top because some people, they're not going to be familiar with what I'm even talking about. So if you already know and you are on my social media, I apologize, but we got to go through these formalities. So here's my post. DAZN introduces DAZN Ultimate, right? You can see that right there. DAZN, they introduced what they're calling DAZN Ultimate, right? And DAZN Ultimate, that subscription tier includes all pay-per-views. So any pay-per-view that they do, you can get it under this. So far, so good. Like, it doesn't sound bad until you get to the mother flipping price. The price for this service is you can own this for only $450. Oh. 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 Hey, DAZN done lost they mind, bro. I don't know what. When you said I was crazy last time, I was kind of tripping, right? But now you right. I am crazy. They done went full bishop. I don't know what's going on, but they said you could get this all-inclusive tier for $450 per year, right? Now, I give you guys all of the facts. We'll get to the $450. That's if you want it annually. They do have an option if you want to, get it monthly, right? So some people are like, man, that's just for the annual, pay up front. There you go. All right, so let's go over the monthly price, right? So just to give you guys an idea, the monthly price is $45 a month, right? $45 a month for the same service. Now, we can analyze it. I am not the smartest brother in the world, but 45 times 12 months in a year, that's $540. So you're actually, if you do month by month and you went the whole year, you're actually paying more for it. You're saving about $90 if you buy it up front. So month by month is going to cost you. They ripping heads off, right? It's going to be more expensive to do it like that. But here's the point, man. This is where it starts to get real chippy and real tricky. And DAZN is famous for this. But wait, there's more. This where okay, so this is plucked from DAZN's page. You dig? The annual pay up front, I already went over $450. And forgive me that I added 1 cent to it and rounded to the nearest whole number. Cause some people are like, hey man, it's not $450, it's $449.99. Are you out of your stop? Come on, bro. Because especially if there's subtotals and surcharges and tax, it's over $450. But whatever, it's $450. $750. So if you pay up front for a year, you get the best value. You only save $89.89. Like they could even make it $100 cheaper, whatever, right? And then here's the kicker with the monthly. Where they got the monthly, right? You see where it says annual, but pay monthly, right? And I know some of you guys at home like, hey, I thought the annual was $450. This is where DAZN comes with the bullshit, with the trickery. Their $449, $45 a month is an annual contract paid in 12-month installments. These couldn't even spell on their own website installments correctly. Installments, I'm not the smartest brother in the world, but it got 2 L's in it. 2 L's like Cool J. When I'm alone in my room, sometimes I stare at the wall and in the back of my mind, I hear my conscience call, telling me, bro, 2 L's like Cool J. So get these people out of my face right now, though. You're not, first of all, you didn't even spell installment correctly. Y'all know I have a problem with that. Like half of the people that come on my channel, they be like, oh, Ego, he suck. I hate his channel. And then they can't spell none. They don't know the difference between there, and there. They can't spell you are and your. Like, this is what I have to deal with. Bro, it says paid in 12 monthly installments. You don't even how does this happen? Like, you don't have no proofreaders, no fact checkers, no one that could help you make it look more professional, especially since you are trying to get that type of money out of people. That just seems a bit weird. Like, you would go through that step. So again, here it is, DAZN Ultimate, and you're getting a minimum of 12 pay-per-views per month, not per month. That's crazy. 12, you're getting a minimum of 12 per year. So you're going to get at least 12. All right. Oh, I got a lot to say. I don't even know where to begin. So here's a 7-day free trial. I mean, what is that really doing? Buy Eubank versus Ben 2 and get 7 days free access to DAZN. Huh? Cancel anytime during the trial and only pay for the fight. Oh, thank you. After the trial, you move on to a monthly flex plan for $29.99 a month. Cancel anytime with 30-day notice and you won't lose the access to the pay-per-view. Bro, I'm so done, bro. I'm so done. Who does DAZN think they are, bro? Give me 30-day notice like they a landlord. Like, you live in an apartment complex and you got to give them some notice before you move out. What? Or like a job, like you got to put in a 2-week notice. It says it's $30 a month, cancel anytime. So y'all smell that? It reeks of desperation. For example, Amazon Prime, how come they don't have that? How come Amazon Prime, you could just opt in and opt out whenever you want? Like, all right, stuff got rough for me. You know, bills came up, unexpected, blah, blah, blah came up. Boom. I'm canceling. And then you can re-up whenever you want, or whoever, you know what I mean? Because I don't know. I pay Amazon Prime annually, but I'm pretty sure they have a monthly on that too. But they don't hold you hostage like Canelo did with them belts at super middleweight, right? And they're trying to make it look like this is a bargain for boxing fans. New pay-per-views included DAZN Ultimate from $44.99 a month. Pay-per-views included at no extra cost. You get a minimum of 12 events per year, including Eubank Ben 2. Bro, stop it. First of all, I'm a die-hard boxing fan that turned this into an empire, into a business. I don't really even care about Eubank versus Ben Part 2. That's just real. I would rather see Ben fight Jaron Ennis or something like that. That seemed more apt. We already watched the fight. The first fight was cool. That's some domestic level stuff anyway. Their highlight, oh, you get Eubank versus Ben 2. Bro, get out of America, please. HDR and Dolby 5.1 surround sound on select events. So you don't even get it for all the events. You only get it for some. 185 plus fights a year from the best promoters. Bro, this don't even sound enticing. Like, what is this? It says from the best promoters, including Matchroom, Queensbury, Golden Boy, Misfits, Bare Knuckle Fight. Come on. Now they bring it up. Bare Knuckle? Oh, it's ugly. Download events to watch on the go in 200 countries. Stream on 2 devices in 1 location. But I'm so at a loss, bro. Stream on 2 devices in 1 location. Who exactly would that be a benefit to. Like, if you're at home at the cribbo watching boxing in the living room, when would you ever need to run it kind of in an additional room? I mean, you guys let me know in the comment section. It didn't say 2 devices in separate locations. It says in one. So that means you have to be probably within the same IP address, proximity, Wi-Fi connection, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Right? Who's doing that? Like, oh, I need it on my, like, if you need to watch something on your phone, it's usually because you're on the move, like you mobile, right? So maybe you need to watch on your phone. But when do you ever need to have 2 different devices in the same house running a boxing event? I'm so confused with that. I don't even know who that's for. Like, your kids is watching it in your kids' room and you watching in the living room. Because if that's the case, why don't you just watch? If your kids like boxing, why wouldn't they just come out and watch in the living room with you, with pops? So yeah, this sounds horrible. I ain't gonna front. This sounds horrible. Highlights from La Liga, man, come on, bro. In Saudi Pro League. Now you're talking about soccer, women's soccer, and all this other stuff. That's it. That, like, this is your sales pitch for why fans need to pay $450 a year. Oh my gosh, I'm about to cook. Continue with pay-per-view with the 7-day free trial. Be very careful. I do not trust companies like DAZN. Here's why. Because they're not coming in and announcing their intent. They're coming in and there's a lot of trickery. Like, I know people in boxing. I know people who have like ordered DAZN and then they said it was a problem, very problematic for them to get out of the contract or cancel. Like, they could just like cancel like a regular subscription. Like, if you have ESPN Plus and you're like, I don't want it right now, I need to save money, you cancel and then it's over. I know people that had DAZN, multiple people, and I've read it, where they had DAZN, try to cancel, thought it was done and over, and got charged again, right? So you got to be very weary with a company with this snaky trickery that they're imparting to you, the consumer. Not looking so good. Now, I don't even know where to begin, man. Like, for starters, the pricing is so crazy. So crazy. I get it that you're including pay-per-view, but $450 a year. DAZN, they should just get out of America. They have no real grasp or concept of the American core audience. They don't even know the audience they're serving. We are dang near in a recession. People's SNAP benefits, I'm not on it, so it doesn't affect me, but my heart goes out to the people who it does affect, or the family members of people it does affect, right? Right now, there's a government shutdown in America where people can't even get food. You got businesses in buildings and restaurants that have been erected for a century, 80 years, that this particular year, 2025, they have decided, I can't take it anymore. I'm closing the restaurant. You got tariffs on stuff and people can't afford some of their small businesses or their restaurants, restaurateurs. They're struggling. People are closing their businesses. And you think Americans are finna come up with $450 for a mystery pack of phantom fights that no one even knows what the future holds? And I'll get into that in a minute. I told you in this video, I'm really finna cook. Your boy Ego really finna cook. I'm just talking about the lack of self-awareness right now. People can't even purchase food and you come with this pricey DAZN stuff. And then your selling point is you get to watch Eubank versus Ben, 2 UK proper dust up, mate. You know what I mean? Get banged. You're banging them, mate. Like, I'm such at a loss for words. It's almost insulting that you think this is an adequate price point. Let's keep going with the price. In addition to the price, you got to look at the market. No one else from Hulu to I pay for all of that for my parents because I don't even really watch TV like that. But I got Paramount, I got Peacock. I mean, I occasionally watch something, but not really. But I got that from my mama and my dad mostly, right? So I pay for Hulu, Disney Plus, Peacock, Paramount, and we got Netflix. Yeah, I got ESPN Plus. Like pretty much all of multiple of these, like multiple apps, still wouldn't equate to that price, especially if we're talking about month to month, right? Wouldn't even equate to that. So I could get like Hulu, Netflix. I got YouTube Red, right? I got cloud services with extra storage from Google and Apple. I'm a business owner, so I got all that, right? I could mix and match a bunch of these different cloud Dropbox and cloud services and additional storage on my iCloud and get multiple of these things, and it still wouldn't be as much as DAZN only. So the lack of self and spatial awareness, the country you're trying to serve, is absurd. It is a little bit cheaper in the UK. I don't know how they feel about their price point, but I'm speaking from the behalf of an American. In addition, because I got to keep cooking, I've already addressed the pricing. I'm sure I've done a good job with that. You know what's going on in America. I know what's going on in America. The pricing is just pretty flagrant that that's an issue. Another reason why that does not work in the sport of boxing. Couple reasons. For one, let's say I'm open-minded to paying $450, almost $500 for an annual membership. Boxing is not the NBA. It is not where they got 82 games, and even if LeBron's not playing, the Lakers still will play. Or if Steph Curry's out, the Warriors are still going to play. And you know exactly who they're playing. You know if it's a home game, if it's an away game. Very organized, very structured. So you at least, like if you're a Raiders or my team is the 49ers. 49ers fan, and you get season tickets, NFL, NBA, you know exactly the home away games, when they're happening, if they're televised, you know all that when the schedule is announced, right? Boxing, however, is the wild, wild west. The wild, wild west. Haha. Jim West, Desperado, Roughneck. No, you don't want none of this 6 gun in it. Like, you know what I mean? It's the wild, wild west. So you don't know when the fights are. You don't know who's fighting. You don't know, like, for example, Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo look to be on a collision course, but that has been the case for months. And as of me recording this video, we still don't have a formal announcement for Shakur and Teofimo. So why would I pay $450 for this upcoming Eubank card or whatever, and I don't even know what else that entails for the rest of the year? It's impossible in boxing to know. Impossible. Then you got other fights that could be really good. Virgil Ortiz, Jaron Bruce Ennis. These names are synonymous. Maybe they can make the fight, maybe they can't. But guess what? Virgil Ortiz has a tough fight tonight versus Erickson Lubin. What if he were to lose? Surely that would affect a Jaron Bruce Ennis fight, just like when Ryan Garcia was supposed to rematch Devin Haney, and then he ends up getting dropped. and beat by Rolly, doesn't rematch Rolly, and then now the Devin Haney, he was forced to move on to a lesser known name, but a good fighter in Brian Norman. So that's another reason you cannot predict boxing in this way, in this fashion. You have to see how Virgil Ortiz does with Lubin to determine, because even if he wins, but people thought Lubin should have won, that's going to hurt the Boots fight. So boxing, you have to watch all the fights in the buildup to really know. So I'm so confused as far as boxing fans. How do they make the determination that you will have a schedule that is good enough, jam-packed enough for them to truly want to invest in a yearly annual package, right? Even if you're talking about the month to month, that's still $45. We're about to enter the holiday season for real. Thanksgiving, Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, L'chaim, right? New Year's, right? A lot of holiday stuff coming up. $45. I told you people can't eat with the SNAP benefits and EBT and all that, right? I'm not seeing the vision. So it's like you have no concept of this economy. You have no concept of the fans and what they want and what's right. You are singularly thinking about, I guess, what you need and what numbers make it work for you. But you can't tell me DAZN is really considering the fans here. But again, how would you expect this type of commitment? Because even the month to month, you are locked in. That's what y'all don't understand. You are locked in to a contract. So there probably will be additional, I don't know. I don't know their whole specifics, but it sounds like you have like an early termination fee or whatever if you abandon early. You know what I mean? There's going to be some kind of penalty, I'm assuming, or you have to pay for another month or whatever the case is. I don't know how they're doing it, but that's insane. Now, I made this as a follow-up post and you see it. Now I'm mad. Boxing fans are now lashing out after this announcement that DAZN made with this price point. They're just, in the words of 3LW, I'm getting a little tired of your broken promises. Right? They not feeling this DAZN ultimate package. So we'll take a look at what the people are saying. That sounds like a horrible value for money. Shut the F up, you corporate shill. F DAZN and F you. Nope. F Turkey and DAZN. I'ma keep stealing it. Bro, come on, man. That says I'ma keep stealing it though. I'ma keep stealing it. Y'all wild. No, thank you. I'm tired of inconsistent price changes. Not to mention the lies as well. What did I tell you? See, and I don't understand DAZN's aim at this point, where how many times can you keep bamboozling the fans and restructuring? Like, if you're failing, you're failing. That Lynn Blavnik dude, he's a billionaire. He must be losing crazy bread or something, because how many times do you need to do like massive price hikes? Like, we're talking about the first price hike was up like 150% inflation. This is insane, right? You came in the game talking bye pay-per-view, said that pay-per-view was dead, and you were ridding the game of pay-per-view. Fast forward to the future, you started doing pay-per-view. So you look like a hypocrite. See, for me, I never, as a business, I'm not perfect, but I've never run into such simpleton type of problems in terms of, if something is new I would not alienate myself from it if it is in fact something that might be something that I use, a tool or in my arsenal, right? Like, I'll tell you a brief story. I've been doing this longer than mostly anybody in the digital space in boxing, right? I was asking for Cash Apps and PayPals. I even had like an outro, and people tried to ridicule me. They were like, oh, Ego's broke and da-da-da-da. Oh, this is ridiculous. Fast forward to the future, everybody puts their Cash App and their tags so you can donate to them. And then YouTube came out with super chats. So I was doing it before YouTube, where I wasn't too proud to beg, where if people wanted to donate and help my channel grow, I'm one person. So yeah, I know I'm working and I'm working hard for the fans. I didn't feel no type of way about it, right? You go to a Starbucks and the baristas, they have a tip jar right there. I used to work at an ice cream parlor when I was like 15 or whatever. And right there, they had a tip jar. So yeah, I didn't see nothing wrong with it. But it was ridiculed in real time by haters. They were like, oh man, look at Ego. He's begging for money and blah, blah, blah. Right? So I would never take that path of, oh, anybody asking for donations or accepting donations is a broke bum. And then YouTube came out with super chats and super thanks and ways for you to donate. Then if you took that approach, you can't really turn that on. And if you do turn it on, right, then you are going to be viewed as a raging hypocrite because you were against it instead of just looking like, I'm a business. This could help my business. So I stay in business, or so that I can do more for my audience. And I'm not going to call them out, but there is a channel that was on their high horse talking about they don't want to take donations, and they know who they are and they know who I'm talking about. But early on, they were like, I don't want or need donations. All right, don't use it then. It's a tool. It's a tool for me and other content creators. So you look hypocritical when you take these hard stances, and then later maybe you need to turn that on, or maybe you want to turn it on because everyone else is doing it. But now you didn't pigeonhole yourself into that. And I could do this all day where, like, it's like me saying, oh, live streaming is stupid. I don't want to stream. But then YouTube start coming out with live streaming and pushing the live streaming. So either you're going to look bad and you're going to have to conform, or you're going to stay not live streaming while everyone else live streams and grows their brand, makes money, blah, 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 helps their statistics, appeases YouTube. So I never had this issue because if something's new, I don't fear it, right? If something's new, I keep an open mind to it. And that's just that. DAZN came out talking about pay-per-views dead. So then they look super hypocritical when they came back and said, hey, we need to start charging y'all pay-per-views now. I thought y'all was killing pay-per-views and getting rid of it. And that was the first time. So yeah, I understand this person talking about inconsistent pricing changes. What was your reaction when you knew you have to go out and shill for this insane bait and switch money grab? This is actually a reporter, Luke Thomas. He does MMA and boxing. DAZN genuinely has the worst, least valuable, and most confusing pricing schemes of any streaming entity in sports. And I would agree with that. That's not a good statement that people would want associated with your brand. You have the most invaluable, or not like least valuable, and most confusing. But here it is. Here's another boxing reporter. Options now for US DAZN subscribers, $45 a month, as I stated earlier, but you are locked into an annual plan. Another reason why I'm making this video, because there are a bunch of shills, which we'll also get into. Stay tuned. 20 a month and you're locked into an annual plan, and you have to still pay for extra pay-per-views. What? So you could do the ultimate new package or whatever, pause, for $45 a month, and you get into an annual plan. Pay-per-views will be inclusive. Or you could do the 20 a month flexible plan, which is annual, and you still have to pay for like a pay-per-view that comes on there. You could do 30 a month, which is a standalone, and you still have to pay for pay-per-views. That's not quite the same as no more pay-per-views, is it? For those who are dumb enough to believe him. DAZN going out bad, dog. I agree, 45 a month seems like a bit much, LOL. I'd be willing to bet that DAZN fights are probably the most illegally streamed of the fight platforms, because it's just not worth the money. Somebody says a lot of stuff they have, including some of the things they put on pay-per-view, are things people would not even bother streaming for free. Facts. Not looking good, DAZN. In America, they make no sense. Internationally, they have NFL and soccer licenses to make it worth it. Here, uck them, go to the dark webs. DAZN has so much promise when starting out, seems to be nearly worse than any other streaming site now. That is not a good deal. Stop trying to mind trick us into paying for bullshit. 45 a month is crazy when we won't be getting crazy cards every month on DAZN. We are only getting good pay-per-view card this month, and we were told that it was supposed to be free. Man, I told you, fans. I like the fans having a good memory because I remember it as well. Heard this before. I was an original DAZN subscriber. They guaranteed there would be no changes. And then they added heavy charges on the premium fights after getting me to sign up long term. I will never enter a contract with DAZN again because he feels he got bamboozled and led astray. This is an awful deal that ignores it used to be $99 for the entire year, and the product lately has not even been as good as when they first started. Wow. That's a great point. Wow. That person said when they first came out, it was $99 a year and they had better fight. Maybe you can get Anthony Joshua Ruiz or whatever was out at the time, right? So you were getting some Dillian White, Povetkin, some better fights. The fights have been worse, and then the price went up to almost $500 for the annual. After this same company said they were going to get rid of pay-per-views, reduce the price of pay-per-views, get rid of pay-per-views. You know what I mean? They kept switching back and forth. $540. Who you think you kidnapped? Oh my. Bro, he did not just do my line from Rush Hour. He said, $450? Man, who you think you kidnapped? Chelsea Carter? Kelsey Grammer? Bro, he used the line from Rush Hour. 20 million in 20. 20 million 20. 10 million in 10. 10 million 10. Man, you want some fives with that? Bro, he really just hit the Rush Hour. I'm done. The girl don't like you. Nobody likes you. What a great way to confuse and exile casual fans. Only a dang boxing incel is going to pay $45 a month. No thanks. I'll pass paying $50 a month to watch Nick Ball versus Limey Wellington in Nottingham. Bro, the fans is outraged. They're not trying to see that. Liam. Oh yeah, mate, you're slagging, mate. Oh, it's proper. You're silly sausage, mate. Bro, the fans is revolting. They are not feeling this. Nick Ball versus Limey Wellington is hilarious, bro. They not trying to see the British teeth fights. Bottom line, DAZN has turned into an ish show and have now lost even more subscribers. $45 in the US, but it's only $23 in the UK. That is disgraceful. Now, in this post that I made, showing the prices, I've already went over $45 a month, $450 a year, locks you into a contract, right? Annual installment. Look, annual installment. So they're trying to get you to commit for a year, no matter what. And they're both prices are steep, the monthly or the expensive one, right? Oh, don't mind my post. Look, this is the magazine that Turkey owns. Turkey Al-Sheikh announces Riyadh season. The ring shows no longer on pay-per-view. Available to DAZN subscribers. Turkey made an announcement Wednesday that should encourage even the hardest to please boxing fan. Bro, Boxing Shields. Where are these people from Ring Magazine who had no problem posting this article? It shows you 4 months ago, right? Ring Magazine, owned by Turkey, 4 months ago, they hailed Turkey and said, oh man, he announced this should please even the toughest critic. No longer on pay-per-view. And then they come and do the bait and switch. Oh my gosh, this is why I have the ultimate job security. I will never go out of style because telling the truth never goes out of fashion. There's so many people that want to do what I do. They'll never make it long term because they're trying to. A lot of people got in bed with the Turkey and the Ring and like went over to that side. So their message is never going to resonate the same way as somebody who's totally freelance, who's looking from a bird's eye view as opposed to in the hut with the people. So I'm asking you, let's be fair. Let's be real. Ring is owned by Turkey. They kept posting like Turkey did this and oh my gosh, Turkey is Turkey dinners and blah, blah, blah. They made posts like this talking about the fights are no longer on pay-per-view. Where is their update? They're posting about Tank and like what Tank ate for dinner and Tank legal trouble. Is Tank a Hall of Famer? Talk about this. Talk about some real stuff. Talk about how 4 months ago you said Riyadh season and ring shows were no longer going to be on pay-per-view because pay-per-view ruined boxing, damaged the market, and you were going to do something different. And like, there's so many things have been said. Turkey's probably not going to want to take credit for it, but he's part of it. He was also saying that he's going to make the pay-per-views cheaper, $25, right? Turkey also put this. We have all the proof. Like Arby's, we have the meats. BOXINGEGO, we have receipts. I got the proof. Turkey verified page. Great meeting with my brother Shay, CEO of DAZN. We have big vision to grow boxing and decide no more pay-per-view. No more pay-per-view, starting with our Ring Magazine show in November. All Riyadh season and ring events will be free to DAZN subscribers. The pay-per-view model has damaged boxing and we will no longer support it. We are with the fight fans. Now we know this is a bold and blatant lie because they just dropped their new subscription model, but at $45 a month, that is almost the equivalent of paying for a pay-per-view every single month. Like, for example, PBC, they'll do, like, we'll use the past. 2023, Errol Spence Crawford pay-per-view. Tank Davis, Ryan Garcia pay-per-view. And you had other pay-per-views scattered around. But there wasn't a pay-per-view in January, February, March, April, May, June, July. If you're locked into a 12-month contract, right, at $45 a month, you are almost certainly pretty much paying with that exorbitant rate, you're pretty much paying for a pay-per-view every single month. And then they're framing it as, oh, pay-per-view's dead. It's not a pay-per-view, but give us 45 a month and we'll give you the pay-per-view fights. So this just looks pathetic. It looks like semantics. You're really trying to confuse and almost insult people's intelligence. It's not pay-per-view, just give us $50 a month, which is almost the price of a pay-per-view. Actually, some of the pay-per-views were, I think they did a one for 50, right? DAZN did. So what are we talking about? And this is the company that said pay-per-view was dead. We're gonna not do pay-per-views, had Tracy Morgan commercials, and then they started doing pay-per-views. Then Turkey came along and he says, this is unfair for the boxing fan to be paying this much, $80, $100 for pay-per-views. I had a meeting with this guy from DAZN and no more pay-per-views. First you said you're gonna drop the price by like 75%, right? And speaking of Turkey, let's talk about this. This is why I'm great. This is why I'm the best in the business, and it's not even close. Because if it's popular or if it's unpopular, the things I say always age like fine wine. While y'all and a lot of content creators were glazing Turkey, and I mean, oh, February 22nd card is the best card I've seen in boxing history. Don King had better cards back-to-back months than that card. And then Shakur's fight, they said he poisoned him and all that, so it got canceled. Daniel Dubois fight got canceled. So it definitely wasn't the best fight card we had ever seen. And even the Better Be of Bevo won. It was cool, but it wasn't like, oh, this is the best fight I've ever seen. I personally like Benavidez Morel more than Benavidez or Better Be of and Bevo. So you guys were saying, oh, it's the best fight card we've ever seen. Y'all was praising Turkey, saying he changed the game up, game changed. Oh my gosh, Turkey saved boxing. Boxing would look so bad. Tank should bow down to Turkey. Oh my gosh, Turkey did it all. This is what you guys were saying. And then the same individuals involved did the old switcheroo, right? Came in, spoke some words that the fans wanted to hear at a time they wanted to hear it, got premature praise. See, I don't give people premature. You get the praise after you've completed said mission. It's like a politician. Politicians say, oh, I'm gonna do this and lower rent and get rid of student loans. And then they get in office and they don't do none of that, right? Donald Trump said the grocery prices were gonna go down and gas prices. All that's high. And people who use SNAP, they're not even getting their benefits now. And some people who have medicals and stuff like that, the medical programs got kicked off or they got less money, all types of stuff. I don't even want to get into politics too much. But the point is, you guys praised Turkey and said he saved the game and changed the game and he has the vision. And now y'all look stupid and you're sitting up here mad because they're trying to charge in a recession $450 a month. Where's all that praise? We got to go back and talk about the content creators. This is also why I'm last of a dying breed. I don't have a Geppetto. I am not a puppet. There's no battery in my back. I get to I treat everybody with respect. I'm professional. You see the sound, you see the quality. Everything is professional. I don't know how long I've been. Almost an hour. I've done a video with no edits and I haven't made no mistakes. You see the professionalism when it comes to my brand. But other people, they were complete and utter company men and they sold out and sold their brands out to advocate for things, and they did it early and then they gave the praise early. Like, oh, Ring, oh my gosh, it's amazing. Oh, DAZN, oh my gosh, Turkey saved boxing. And then now you look stupid because you brought this to your audience and said, it's a changing of the guard, and they're starting to understand the fans. They get the fans now, and the pay-per-view model has damaged boxing. You bought into all of these things and ran with it. And boxing media is not just the fans. Boxing media, you're playing with my emotion. You're playing with my money. You're playing with my emotion. You're Smokey, right? And you bought into all of these things and these notions and believed in it and spread it as if it was fact. Me, I don't do that. If you do something good, I'll give you credit. But a lot of people prematurely gave Turkey a bunch of credit that now look dumb, because it's hard to justify those price points that they just dropped, especially when I'm showing you proof where they said they were getting rid of the pay-per-view model. So it's hard to trust a company that moves like this. Of course, like Netflix, they've increased their price little by little, but they're obviously doing better, to me, in my opinion, in America especially, because they don't have to go so extreme. Netflix will go from $11.99 to $13.99. Fans may or may not like appreciate that, but that's reasonable. They have a large catalog, and they're continuing to put out, like, I want to watch the new Frankenstein that they got. So they're doing original films. They got studios. They got a good backlog and catalog. It's justified. I don't watch soccer. I don't watch darts and all this other junk. I'm here for boxing. You can't tell me you got $500 worth of boxing every year. Again, what am I paying $450 for blindly? And I don't even know what fights you're going to have. Is Shakur fighting Teofimo? I don't know. Is Jaron Ennis fighting against Virgil Ortiz? I don't know. I don't even know if Virgil Ortiz beats Lubin. I got to wait and see. So why would I pay $450? Why would I commit either monthly or the annual? Why would you have to commit to an annual 12-month contract? So why would I commit to your company, for a year in the sport like boxing? Because here's the thing. Do you trust Teofimo Lopez? Do you trust Shakur Stevenson? Even if they announced the fight, let's say today they announced the fight, Shakur is fighting Teofimo Lopez, boom. What happens if Shakur hurts his hand like he did when he was about to fight Joe Cordina? Fight canceled. So now you've entered a 1-year contract, and in boxing, the fight you thought was going to happen, up in smoke, Dr. Dre tour. And you can't control it. So, for example, Jake Paul, he was just supposed to fight Gervonta Davis. Some people liked it, some people didn't. Lawsuit happens, fight gets canceled. Done. Floyd Schofield, he's actually fights on DAZN. He was supposed to be on the Virgil Ortiz card as a co-main event with Jojo Diaz, coming off an impressive Tevin Farmer first round knockout. Hurt his hand. It's over. Keith Thurman, he was supposed to fight Sebastian Fundora. Oh, Fundora hurt his hand in camp. Fight over. So it's going to be extremely hard not to do pay-per-view and to convince people to commit for a year when they don't even know what they're committing to. Imagine you meet a girl. You don't know her background. She won't tell you nothing. You don't know if she's burning. You don't know if she's married or single. She won't give you nothing. You don't know if she's a cheater, if she stank, like, you know what I mean? You don't really know nothing. Would you commit and buy her a ring if you don't even know who you're dealing with? Come on, bro. You gonna get on bended knee and ask her to marry you and you just met her and you don't know if she has money in her account, you don't know her past, you don't know nothing about her. I don't know about y'all, but it couldn't be me. We're not doing that. So I'm not going into any situation, a relationship, subscription app or whatever, blindly and committing to something. And I don't even know what you have to offer. Like, what's Crawford's next fight? What's Canelo's next fight? Because they just fought on Netflix. So I don't know. First of all, I don't even need to see Canelo no more, in my opinion. But if he wants to fight and he has a captivating fight, whatever, cool. But I don't know, is it going to be on Netflix? Is it going to be on DAZN? Because they last fight, Crawford's last fight, Canelo last fight. Crawford looked good. So what if they do a rematch and Netflix says we want the rematch? And you just committed to DAZN for a year. Like, none of this is making sense to me. You can't really foreshadow boxing. And I've said that for the longest. Accidents happen. People failed PED tests, VADA tests. You have fights that get canceled for lawsuits, like the Jake Paul Tank fight, all types of stuff. You got a lot of these people in this generation, I do not trust them to do right. Cause like, let's say Keyshawn Davis, he had a good fight with Edwin De Los Santos. I was looking forward to it. We got all the way to the weigh-in. He missed his weight by 4 pounds. And then they can't agree and set new terms, or they told him to walk away because he's too heavy, blah, blah, blah. Needless to say, the fight got canceled. So this type of stuff happens all of the time in boxing. And DAZN up here wants you to give them $45 a month for boxing. And another thing that sounds so funny when you really think about it is DAZN, they want you to commit heavy to probably bail them out because they're losing a lot of money, which I've already predicted, but whatever. And then they come up with this new pricing tier. They're talking about you get all the pay-per-views included, starting with Eubank Ben. Couple problems with that. And I want you guys to see it again. Right? So pay-per-views included at no cost. You get a minimum of 12 events per year included. Couple problems with that. For one, 12 events, we can't control what events these are. What do I mean? DAZN just put Fabio Wardley and Joseph Parker on pay-per-view. Huh? That ain't no pay-per-view fight. So if you got and did the 12-month or the 45 a month for a year, right? And they said 12 events pay-per-view per year. One of them could have been Fabio Wardley and Joseph Parker, which we know shouldn't have been on pay-per-view. So when it comes to something like that, all they have to do is slap it on pay-per-view and say, hey, you got one of your pay-per-view fights. Here's more proof positive that what I'm saying makes a whole lot of sense. The reality is there's only a handful of fights in boxing right now in 2025 and beyond that truly deserve a pay-per-view attachment that really can justify being on pay-per-view. Because right now you don't even have that many fighters that are branded like that. Like back in the day, you had Shane Mosley, Pacquiao, Ricky Hatton, Floyd Mayweather, Miguel Cotto, Sergio Martinez, Chavez Jr. when he was coming up, right? It was popping. You had Josh Clottey and Zab Judah, and you had Andre Ward, Carl Froch, Jermaine Taylor, right? So you had so many people you can kind of mix and match and put together a worthy pay-per-view. Right now, we don't even have stars like that. You got Tank and Canelo, but Canelo's on his way out. and Crawford's on his way out, and he's not a star anyway. Like, he respect to him as a fighter, but he not by himself. He hasn't showed to do 1 million pay-per-views or whatever, right? So with that being said, we have no control, no jurisdiction on the 12 fights that you do, right? Like, Eubank Ben is not really a pay-per-view fight to me. HBO back in the day had HBO Boxing After Dark. Those fights were better than any of the stuff DAZN is doing. Because I remember I watched fights like Curtis Stevens and David Lemieux on that. I think it was Victor Ortiz and Maidana, Amir Khan and Maidana. Those were the types of fights that HBO was showing for free, like not even on pay-per-view type stuff, right? And then now you got fights that are struggle fights, domestic level fights, and then they're gonna just throw it on pay-per-view. Like Nick Ball versus Liam on pay-per-view, Ted Cheesington and Nick Balls. And then they'll be like, oh, it's a pay-per-view. That's one of them. So you can easily fulfill your 12 fight quota, but without knowing what those 12 fights are in advance, you don't know if that's up to the standard. You know what I mean? So basically what I'm getting at is there's really no, in boxing, with a blanket statement, you get a minimum of 12 pay-per-view events. There's not 12 pay-per-view events that are worthy pay-per-view events in boxing right now. And even if there are, they don't all reside at DAZN. Like Jake Paul, he might be one of the people, but he's been fighting on Netflix for the most part. So there's a fight somewhere out there where Jake Paul could make it a pay-per-view, but he might take that to Netflix. So even the fights that are pay-per-view, you don't have Tank. So Tank could fight somebody and be on pay-per-view, but you don't have Tank. You don't have the rights to him, right? So what 12 events are you going to put? In addition, you got to read the fine print. The fact that they said the Misfits and the Bare Knuckle, they're trying to trick you. There's no other way to put it. They are trying to trick you. Because I personally, I don't watch the Misfits like that. If it's on before like a normal boxing day and I could catch it, maybe I'll do it. But so they could just do Luke Rockhold and Salt Poppy and be like, oh, that's a Misfits pay-per-view. And then that counts as satisfying one of the pay-per-views they owe you. But the Misfits fans and Bare Knuckle, these aren't inherent boxing fans. A lot of that influencer Misfits stuff, the hardcore boxing fans that I know don't even be watching that. Maybe they'll watch like highlights of it, but they're not seeking it out and going after it and knowing what time it starts and watching it from start to finish, the whole card. So that's like a whole different arena at this point. Like Jake Paul's doing more like regular boxing events than the Misfits. Like Jake Paul is pretty much a boxer now. The Misfits, they're still like, you know what I mean? Like some of the people are cool, but they wouldn't do good against actual boxers. Like put Artur Beterbiev in with any of them Misfits people and tell me how that plays. And tell me how it plays out. So yeah, it's just a lot of trickery with DAZN, you know? And I don't appreciate that. And I don't appreciate that to boxing fans because it makes my job harder, you know? So I don't want to see y'all get got. I got a lot of people in the community that turn to me for boxing news and information. So that's why I have to make this video to educate and let people know. Because some people think, oh, month to month, I'll pay $45 because I want to see David Benavidez. Cool. If that's what you want to do, it's your money. But just know with the DAZN Ultimate, the fine print is it's a 12-year term. It's a 12-year contract. Or not 12-year, 12-month. I'm so sorry. It's a 1-year annual like contract that you're agreeing to. So it's more than meets the eye. Yeah, so ultimately, I heard the news. I wasn't a fan. A lot of people, they wanted to know my opinion. I think I did a good job. I mean, these prices are just, they're atrocious. They're really atrocious. And to be honest, DAZN hasn't even really been dropping no hits. Canelo Crawford was not on the network, right? Jake Paul and Tank wasn't going to be on the network. So you have some audacity at this space and this point of the game to really come out with this price point. There's probably been other times where DAZN was dropping more. Like, I don't even know DAZN's next 5 fights. All I know is Eubank and David Benavidez card, which also has Abdullah Mason, Devin Haney, Brian Norman, but that's all on one card. Outside of that, I don't even really know what else they have. So best believe it's going to be Darren Till versus so-and-so and KSI versus Tommy Fury 2 trying to fill out this quota, which again, to me, is a whole different market. So yeah, I wasn't a fan of this news. I think the price is far too steep. Let me know what you guys think. Give me some detailed comments. I'm going to enjoy reading them. What do you think is a fair price? But yeah, I just don't like all the shenanigans talking about pay-per-views dead, and we're getting rid of, you're trying to act like the good guy, but in actuality, you're no different. You're no different at all, because $50 a month is virtually like paying a pay-per-view every single month. Even with PBC, who's probably doing the most pay-per-views, they don't always have a pay-per-view. Like every single month is not a pay-per-view, right? So yeah, it's kind of hard to justify. Like, I'm really looking forward to Lamont Roach, Pitbull Cruz in that whole card, but that's on PBC. So even if you commit that heavy to DAZN, then you're still gonna have to pay PBC to watch that card. It's too much, bro. And I don't think people are in the position right now to be giving up that type of money for an unknown service. Let me know what you think. We Unpacked. Live streaming can be tough, which is why I use StreamYard. Click the link in the description for StreamYard, which is an awesome tool that enables you to set up your stream with ease of use. Get great results with live streaming. It's what I use. Stream to social media with ease with StreamYard. Live streaming is here to stay. Engage with your audience using StreamYard. Great way to reach out to your audience and connect. So you need a tool that can do that. If you're new to YouTube and you're struggling to get views, one tool I could provide to you is TubeBuddy. I've been on YouTube over 10 years. I use TubeBuddy daily to crank out videos just like this one that you're watching. Learn how the pros do it with TubeBuddy. YouTube receives a lot of traffic, which also means a lot of creators, a lot of people putting out content. So you need to learn the ropes so you know how to separate yourself, especially if you're new. But even if you're a pro, use TubeBuddy. The link is in the description. Get more views, more subscribers, and a higher click-through rate. So ultimately,